Welcome to the San Antonio housing market update for February 2025. Today, we're going to look at two articles right off the bat just to give me some information about some things I think are going to impact the housing market and in the near future and beyond that. I think very important things to keep in mind when you're considering what you think the housing market is going to do. I'll share this information with you and you make your own decision. And then we'll get into the data for the San Antonio housing market. So this first article, and you can find it on cnbc.com by Diana Olick. And the key points in this article, number one, tariffs on key building materials sourced from Canada and Mexico could make home prices more expensive and freeze out buyers. Second point, President Donald Trump put 25% tariffs on goods from the two key trading partners, but later delayed duties on Mexico by a month. Home prices are already at record highs, and Trump's mass deportation plans could further pressure the market by reducing the construction labor force. More in depth on that, we get a lot of lumber from Canada. We see a lot of materials such as sheetrock, things like that, gypsum, coming from Mexico. So two places that are highly integrated with our construction industry are potentially going to be affected by the new tariffs. So you can read more on this article, but a second related article I want to switch over to here at National Association of Home Builders.org. The headline reads, House reintroduces National Association of Home Builders supported workforce development bill. This was just published today. This bill has actually been reintroduced to the House and the Senate for consideration and is called the Bipartisan Construction Act, which directly addresses the lack of workers in the housing sector by expanding opportunities for residential construction training programs at community colleges and technical education schools. So just reading that, and my first reaction is, gosh, it could be, if you wanted to work in construction, could be a good time. You're seeing less competition there. We've had a huge deficit in construction workers. This article goes on to state that in any given month, there is a shortage of 200,000 to 400,000 construction workers, and home builders will need to add 2.2 million new workers over the next 3 years just to keep up with demand. By supporting funding for building and construction trades education, this legislation would bolster the housing workforce and directly address the shortage of skilled construction workers. So I think both articles touch on key issues for the housing industry. Number one, the tariffs. Will they go through? Will they not go through? The deportation of workers. And it's going to affect the housing market, whether you're for it or against it. And then just the effort by the National Association of Home Builders indicates and really underlines that need that is there in the housing market already. So we're battling on those two fronts there. Just food for thought. Check out both these articles, read it, digest it, do your own research, and come to your own conclusion. So now for the housing market numbers here in San Antonio. And these numbers are all as of February 11th, 2025. We're looking back at the January numbers. Months worth of inventory, we're sitting at 4.2 months worth of inventory, and that is down 1.18%. Sold price to list price ratio is 97.3%. So typically on a home, you're looking at maybe a 3% discount from the list price. Number of days on the market, we came in at a middle of 59 days, median 59 days. So your typical home sale happened within 59 days. And then the typical sold price for homes in San Antonio came in at $287,500. And that's down 2.87% month over month. Property values in San Antonio holding steady, actually increased, came in at $290,820. That was about a 0.5% increase month over month. And over the last 12 months, down 0.8%. So almost 1% drop in estimated property value for the typical home in San Antonio. We'll look a little bit closer at this one. This just shows how flat we've been over the last 12 months, particularly. So it's very flat over the past 12 months as far as home values are concerned. And now newly listed homes in San Antonio. The data here that I want to point out, number one, median list price, okay, up 8.4% month over month. So the sellers that came in to the housing market in January were asking on average 8.4% month over month more for the house. And the median living area square footage also up. So larger houses came on the market in January, up by 7.1% for 1,837 square feet. So slightly larger houses added to the market in January here in San Antonio. But overall, if we're looking at the list prices, they have declined. Okay, they have come down. And they're not sky high. We're looking back here at May 2022 and moving forward to about May 2023. Okay, we went from $323,000 down to $314,000 in May of 2023. We actually went down in May of 2024 to 303, rebounded to 310 in June of 2024. So the overall trend is the median list price, the typical list price, has been coming down over the last few years. Now, at the same time, and this is where it gets interesting, is the typical square footage for the homes that are being offered, the size of the homes that are going on the market. The typical seller is selling smaller homes. May of 2022, we were at 1,940 square feet. That was a typical size there. And then May of 2023, 1,910 square feet. And in May of 2024, 1,850 square feet. So as you can see, it gets a little strained at things because, more people are getting the message that the smaller homes are doing better. So they're putting those homes on the market more often than some of the larger homes. So from that perspective, and we look long-term, we go back long-term, we're looking at, a really, really obvious trend. Okay, you're looking at this graph here all the way from January of 2020. Okay, the trend is smaller square footage. Okay, smaller square footage being offered the market versus larger square footage. Active listings. Okay, these are the homes that have already been through the little honeymoon period, been on the market for 10 days, and they're no longer new. The typical list price there, $305,000. The typical square footage for those active listings, 1,833 square feet. And again, active listings, these are also, can look at that trend going to the downside. Okay? Prices are coming down, but also the size of the homes coming down. Okay, and both aspects there. Very interesting. Pending list price came in at $289,990. The median living area square footage came in at $1,896. And I think that still continues to underscore the trend in what people are putting on the market, what people are buying, smaller square footage in the properties. Pending These homes they're in the final stage of the sale. The pending homes in January came in at $299,900. Square footage, pending 1,941 square feet, sold in January. And your typical sales price for homes in San Antonio came in at $287,500. So your typical price per square foot for homes sold in San came in at $157 a square foot, and the median or typical days on the market came in at 59 days on the market. So now, if you're considering a move, obviously you want to consider these numbers carefully and what it might mean for you. If you have a larger house that you're thinking that you want to sell in the future, right now it looks like the trend for what people are demanding is heading in the downward section. So the smaller homes, smaller footprints, people are trying to reduce the overall cost of home ownership, in my opinion. What are they spending on weekly basis, a monthly basis, a yearly basis for keeping up that home? So the demand for those larger homes is subsiding. So if you're looking to downsize, it might be a good time to consider a move now versus waiting until later. I think that trend is pretty set right now. I don't know. I don't know what could come and change that. Unless the house is a multi-generational living situation. I think the demand for that is going to be higher in the future versus than it is even now. So if you have any questions about this, you can give me a call, 210-260-6617. And I'll see you on next month's video.